Hi everybody, welcome to my macro teachment assignment. Today I will talk about Piaget's theory of cognitive development. I will first talk a little bit about Piaget, how he developed his theory, and then I will go through the stages that he described for the cognitive development of children. At the end, I want all of us to think about how can we use this knowledge to become more effective in our own classrooms. Please leave your thoughts in the comments to this video. Piaget was born in Switzerland in the late 1800s. He was a very smart guy. Actually, he published his first scientific paper when he was just 11 years old. Up to that time, people believed that the minds of children were just miniature versions of the adults' minds. But Piaget, being such a curious and a smart guy, he eventually started observing his own nephew and his own daughter. And he discovered and described 4 stages in the development of the cognition of children. The 4 stages of cognitive development described by Piaget are the sensory motor stage, the pre-operational stage, the concrete operational stage, and the formal operational stage. One important thing that I want us to all keep in mind is that these stages look very smooth in theory, but even Piaget acknowledged that they might not go as smooth and orderly in real life as they look in theory. So, for example, some children, they might take longer to go from one stage to another. Some children might show even signs of 2 stages at the same time. So that's important to keep in mind. The very first stage described by Piaget is called the sensory motor stage, and it goes from birth to approximately 2 years of age. At this stage, children get knowledge of their world through movements and sensations. They start basically understanding their environment through inborn reflexes such as sucking and looking. They eventually start coordinating their sensations, and for example, they may start sucking their thumb and repeating the action because they find it pleasurable. Later on, they can start repeating actions in order to trigger a response in the environment. For example, they can pick up a toy just to put the toy in their mouths. They eventually start to recognize certain objects as having specific qualities. For example, they understand that a rattle will make a sound if they shake it. They eventually start doing some experimentation through trial and error. And what it means is that they will try out different sounds or actions as a way to get attention from their caregivers. And later on, during this stage, they will develop what is called object permanence. And according to Piaget, that's one of the most important accomplishments during this stage of development. And it consists on the child's understanding that objects continue to exist even though they cannot be seen or heard. For this exercise, I need you guys to imagine that you are little babies, around 6 months old, maybe 8, maybe older. That you are still little babies and you are playing one of the most favorite games little babies like to play, a game of peekaboo. Peekaboo! If you have seen this game playing with the baby, you have seen how much fun they have playing the game. And I'm sure all of us and all of you had a lot of fun when you were babies playing this game. The fun is because for little kids at this age, there is not such concept of object permanence. And Piaget said that only at the end of the sensory motor stage, children develop that concept. So for a little baby playing a game of peekaboo, when you are behind the curtain, or in my case, this paper towel, You no longer exist. But hey, all of a sudden, peekaboo, you exist again. Mm, peekaboo. The second stage described by Piaget is the pre-operational stage. It goes from approximately 2 to 7 years of age, and the main characteristic of this stage is that children begin to think symbolically. Let's watch. Hey guys, for this exercise, I want us to think that we are children at the pre-operational stage. So remember that at this stage, children already know that objects exist even when we cannot see them. Let's play. I'm going to give each one of you 2 pieces of chewing gum. And I'm going to ask you to unwrap the 2 pieces of chewing gum, keeping them in the same shape as they are originally. I'm doing the same. Got one done. Now I got the other one done. All right. Okay. So now show me please your 2 pieces of chewing gum. Very good. And I'm asking you, and remember you are children at the pre-operational stage, I'm asking you which one of these 2 pieces has more chewing gum, or do you think that they both have the same amount of chewing gum? Most children at the pre-operational stage will be able to say that both pieces have more or less or have the same amount of chewing gum. Now let's see what happens when I get one of the pieces of chewing gum, this one, and I'm going to fold it. I'm folding it. Look. Yeah, there we go. One piece. And then we got the other piece. And now I ask you, which one do you think has more chewing gum? Most children at the pre-operational stage will answer that this piece, this one, has the more chewing gum. And if you ask them why, most of them will say that because it looks bigger than this one. Now, if we unfold again this piece, right? So this is the piece, I just unfold it again. And if we ask children at the pre-operational stage again, which one do they think that has more chewing gum? This was the original that I did not unfold, and this is the other one that was folded, and then, oh, it's breaking a little bit. Okay, chewing gum, let me fix it. This is happening in the classroom all the time, so you know. All right, so, but as a well-prepared teacher, I have another piece of gum, right? And then I'm gonna show you again. So for the children, this will be the piece that was folded before, and I unfolded, and then this is the other one. And then when we ask them again, which one do they think that has more chewing gum? Or if they think that both of them have the same amount of chewing gum, most children will say at this pre-operational stage that both of them have the same amount of gum. Good job, everybody. The third stage described by Piaget is the concrete operational stage. It goes from approximately 7 to 11 years of age. At this stage, children begin to think logically, although they are still very concrete. Okay guys, for this exercise, I want you to think that you are a child at the concrete operational stage. Great news! At this stage, you already know the concept of conservation. And what it means is that an object does not necessarily change because it changes its shape. For example, If you are given two pieces of chewing gum at this stage and one of them is folded and you are asked which one of the two pieces of gum has more chewing gum, you are going to be able to say that both of them have the same amount, even though one of them looks smaller than the other. The other thing you can do at this concrete operational stage is to perform inductive logic. For example, if I ask you, have you noticed that every time that you pass by and pet the cat, you start getting itchy, you start sneezing, and you develop hives? What do you think that means? Very good. That means that's likely that you are allergic to the cat. Great job, everybody. You did great. The last stage described by Piaget is the formal operational stage. It goes from 12 and up years of age. The main characteristic of this stage is the ability to think about abstract ideas and situations. Okay, guys, for this exercise, I want you to think that you are a teenager at the formal operational stage. You are now able to understand abstract ideas and to perform deductive reasoning. So, for example, if I ask you some hypothetical questions, you should be able to come up with some ideas. Let's say that I ask you, what will happen if you go to a party without having a ride back home? Keep thinking. Good job. Or, what will happen if the internet will stop working right now? How will you finish that assignment? Great job, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye. And now, your exit ticket. How can we use the knowledge of cognitive development in children to become more effective in our classrooms?